Hi, I'm Miss Birdy, and I want to walk you through a couple of examples of my new online learning tool.
Self community. Self community is an identity building game, which means it uses all the motivating aspects of a game to guide kids through social emotional development. I'll show you some examples that some of my students have made. The whole project is based on the very old idea that the human identity is multifaceted. In other words, it has parts that we can name and analyze. Many frameworks for this idea already exist, for example, Freud's id, ego, and superego, and the classic shoulder angel and shoulder devil. In self community, the different parts are called self people or self creatures, but instead of assigning them roles like other frameworks do, I ask the kids to reflect and discover and then name their own self creatures. This process and really everything they do in the project implicitly teaches them that they have agency and control over the development of their own identity. Self community has several goals. The medium of the project overall implicitly develops the practice of self awareness and introspection. And then beyond that, we use the gamification to reinforce desired behaviors like, for example, helping out around the house, or giving parents space for work, or compromising with a sibling. The discussions we have as we build the project also allow us to untangle internal struggles and apply conflict resolution skills to maintain a peaceful inner community. And then I also teach kids how to use the project to improve decision making and manage their own emotions. That's a lot. So, how do I do that? We start by practicing a bit of self reflection. The kids respond to the prompts here and choose images to match each emoji. And from that reflection, we create a list of jobs, which are determined by interests, roles, relationships, needs, whatever comes to light through creating this board. Once we have a good list of jobs, we start developing each individual self creature. We really get to be creative when we build the self creatures. The kids love this part. They get to pick an image for the creature, a name, decorations for the room. They get to pick items that the creature might want. And then we also do some analysis to flesh out the creature and get to know them better. A central idea in self community is that the self creatures are fed by actions the kids do in their real lives. So, this is the part that harnesses all the motivating aspects of a game to reward desired behaviors. This tracking can take a few forms, but it always centers around actionable behaviors and choices. And the rewards that they can get are also fully customizable, which means a lot of kids pick toys that they want in real life. And what's amazing is that they seem equally motivated by a picture of the toy as they would be by the toy itself. So this is harnessing the power of their imaginations to reinforce the habits that feed the creatures. Self-community also empowers kids to observe and even talk to the most difficult parts of themselves. For example, the want monster is my way of talking to kids about addiction, mostly sugar and screen addictions. My specific approach to these difficult parts is to have the kids ask themselves, what is the positive purpose of this part of me? For example, the want monster is usually just trying to help us cope, right? Or make things feel okay. But there's a healthy way and an unhealthy way to achieve that. So the next question is always, how can I achieve that positive purpose without hurting anyone, including myself? And we do that with anger, and we do that with sadness, perfectionist, right? Any other part of them that they feel maybe working against them when they're getting in their own way. All the self creatures live in the identity castle, which is on the mind island. The mind island is an expansion of the analogy, so we can also look at other mental functions like memory, gratitude, introspection and detail, goals, fears, etc. And all of these reinforce our overarching goals of self awareness and positive choices. Gamification and customization make it fun for kids to explore their own social emotional development, but self-community can also be used to teach academic topics like number sense, basic arithmetic, spelling, grammar, writing skills, internet research and comprehension skills, and the framework is really flexible enough to teach pretty much anything you can think of. For example, kids who are struggling with early math concepts will have a math creature, and the behaviors they use to feed the creature are math strategies. And then they have to manually add up the points to find out what they can afford in the store. And lastly, here are some examples of slides used for academic lessons. This is parts of speech, number bonds, odd versus even. And kids respond very positively to the visual and often whimsical representations of these concepts. They also get very invested in creating some of their own, like this grammar game was completely a kid's idea.
In summary, Self Community is a fully customizable gamification of your kids' real life. It empowers them to develop their own agency and actively build their own minds. And they love it because it's really fun. And parents love it because they see all these positive changes in their kids, like better behavior management, better self control, better conflict resolution. And it also provides a full vocabulary for families to talk about all these very abstract but important concepts. So thank you for watching, and please let me know if you have any questions. Bye. Be safe.